Hey, what's up, guys? So, I'm currently working on a series of videos to help explain how you should install and set up your ALPs on your car. Usually, when we talk about what the benefits of the ALPs are, it'll be things like how it can jam some of the newest guns that some of the older generation jammers can't. It'll be things like how the heads are physically smaller, which means they're less visible, easier to install in your car, less likely you're going to have to cut things up. You can squeeze them in tighter places, so cool things like that. One of the other cool benefits is the fact that the heads themselves are physically more sensitive at detecting LiDAR in the first place, and there's a bunch of cool benefits to that. To give you a quick test that was done to kind of measure the LiDAR sensitivity, there was one that was done by Mirage back when the ALPs were first starting to come out. We were getting a better feel for how they compared to some of the other current quote-unquote jammers. At the time, the best jammer on the market were the laser interceptors, so that was the one to test against. And what he did to compare sensitivity was go ahead and install the jammers on the car. And he's got his LiDAR gun over here about 20 feet away from the car, shooting this direction, and you start moving the LiDAR gun closer and closer until the jammers alert, right? And the closer you have to get, the less sensitive the jammers are. The farther you can get away and still have them alert, the more sensitive they are, right? What he found is from 20 feet away, the laser interceptors, you had to bring the gun 3 feet 9 inches away, and the ALPs alerted from all the way over here at 7 feet away, which meant the jammers could actually pick it up when the LiDAR gun was way over here. It was more sensitive. Cool. Now, what would be some of the benefits of the increased sensitivity and being able to pick up, LiDAR better? Well, there's a couple things. First of all, a jammer, when you have it installed in your car like this, it can't necessarily protect the entire surface area of your car. That's why you may need multiple jammers, right? Jammer that's more sensitive means it covers a larger surface area, and it's going to do a better job at protecting your entire vehicle. So one jammer that may only be able to reach this far, another jammer that's more sensitive can reach maybe out this far, just for example. I'm kind of making it up, But the fact that it's more sensitive means it's going to do a better job at covering the entire area of your car, which means you get better protection and less likelihood that they're going to be able to get a speed reading off your vehicle. Number two, the fact that the heads are more sensitive and they're covering more of the surface area of your car means that oftentimes you can get away with having fewer jammers. A good example of this is on large vehicles, with LIs, for example. Oftentimes you might need 4 heads on the front of your car. You would do like 1, 2, 3, 4, that sort of thing. With the ALPs, because they're more sensitive, oftentimes you can get away with just 3 heads. So you'll do 1, 2, and then a third one here in the middle. Because you only need 3 heads instead of 4, that actually winds up saving you money. Additionally, you don't necessarily need to buy 2 systems because the ALP supports 5 heads total instead of 4, and because you can get away with using fewer heads per side, you don't have to even buy a second system if you've got a larger vehicle. You can do 1 system. So again, it winds up saving you money. Another thing is that because the heads are more sensitive, you have more options on where you place them in your vehicle. They don't have to necessarily be in the kind of textbook classic perfect locations. A good example of why this is beneficial would be the BMWs. So they have these vertical grille slats in their kidney grills, right? And the ALPs need to be installed horizontally. Well, oftentimes the ALPs aren't going to actually fit in the grille slats. So what a lot of people would do is they'll install the jammers down here. With previous generation jammers, you couldn't necessarily do this because the heads weren't sensitive enough and you would get punch-throughs over here on the headlights. But because the ALPs are more sensitive, you can install them in less than optimal locations and still get full protection, which is awesome. So rather than having to maybe cut your grille or install them behind the grill, which would seriously affect performance, or install them in front of the grill, which would just look kind of ugly, you can install them down here and have a more visually appealing install that would still give you the performance that you're looking for. So again, the increased sensitivity means we've got more options as far as installation that may look better and require less cutting of the vehicle that would still do the job and give us full performance. So the increased sensitivity gives us more installation options. Another thing is the heads do need to be installed correctly. You don't want to pointing off to the side or up and down. If you install them not quite perfectly, I go over all this stuff in my setup guide as well. I've got a section dedicated to how you're supposed to install the heads in your grill to make sure that they work properly. If there's any issues with your installation and you install them slightly incorrectly, you're less likely to get a punch through because the heads are more sensitive, and if they're maybe looking off in the wrong direction, because they're more sensitive, they can still detect the laser in the first place. So they're less susceptible to punch throughs due to poor installation. Additionally, the heads may actually physically move over time as you're driving. You hit bumpy roads, whatever, they could kind of shift and move around in your grill. That can also lead to punch throughs, and because the heads are more sensitive, they're more resistant to punch throughs due to the heads physically moving over time, even if they were installed correctly originally. So they're just going to give you better protection all the way around. So, I mean, there's a bunch of other things too. We can talk about how it'll be better at maybe picking up scatter and picking up, laser at a distance. Some could maybe hit another car ahead of you and maybe reflect off that car, and a little bit would get, reflected to you, and you could pick that up. So you could actually potentially pick up laser before you're getting shot. That sort of thing is really rare and you'll almost never see it, but having a more sensitive laser detector in your laser jammers means you're more likely to pick up scatter. So anyways, all sorts of things. As you can see, having more sensitive laser jammers is very, very beneficial for a whole variety of reasons. It's going to give you better performance in terms of covering, physically more of your car. It gives you more options as far as placement, so you don't necessarily have to, cut up a beautiful car. It's just going to give you better protection. It's going to be more resistant to any failures due to poor installation or heads moving over time. So head sensitivity is a really awesome thing, and that's one of the many things about the ALPs that make them so desirable, and that's one of the reasons that pretty much everybody's been running them over the past couple of years, and they're switching over to the ALPs. So anyways, if you're looking for a set of ALPs, you can pick them up. I'll put a link in the video description to where you can buy them, or you can click on the button you see up on the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's where you can go to buy them. If you need help setting up the ALPs, watch my videos that I'm working on. Those links will be in the video description as well, or you can just go here to my setup guide, and I cover all this kind of stuff that you need to know. So anyways, high sensitivity laser jammers, awesome. Thanks for watching. Bye.